Hey, I'm Janet. I'm with Ageless and Amazing. I'm here to talk to you today about hair and what we experience as we get over 50 with our hair. 25% of us are going to experience some kind of thinning hair throughout our lifetime, but that increases to over 40% when we are postmenopausal, and that's scary. And many women get embarrassed and frustrated, stressed over this because they don't know what to do with it and because it makes up such a huge part of who we believe we are and what people think of us. There is also the issue of our hair losing its pigment and us going prematurely gray when we do have some degree of control over how and when that happens. But first off, just a quick intro, and then I'll come back with that information for you. Hello, it's Janet with Ageless and Amazing, and I'm here to talk to you today about thinning hair and premature gray in ladies over 50. Okay, so let's talk about the 7 things that can impact when and how you are going to actually experience your thinning hair. And the first is genetics. Something that's a little hard to impact is if there's a history in your family of male and female pattern baldness. The second is disease. There are many diseases that have an impact on your hormones, your stress levels, and different things that will actually determine whether you will experience hair loss as a side effect. Medications that you are on. There are certain medications that have thinning hair and hair loss as a side effect, and you can discuss this with your physician to see if there is an alternate medication that you can perhaps take. Hormones. That's the next one, and it's a huge one. As I was saying, prior to menopause, 25% of women will experience thinning hair, but post-menopause, that goes up to 40 and more. And I will discuss why we experience this in a minute. The next one is environmental stressors. And if you are in a place where pollution or other things are impacting you, your water, and different things, you may have to take a look at that. Next is stress, and stress is huge, and stress impacts every area of your life. Your hair doesn't escape this. And finally, nutrition. And nutrition involves the food that we eat that is going to impact our hair and the supplements that we may need to take in order to boost our system so that we can support what is required in order to slow down and reduce the amount of hair that we are losing. Now, the first thing that I mentioned in that list of 7 that we actually can have some impact on, we first of all have to have an understanding of, and that is our hormones. Now, I know as we go through menopause, many things are happening, and thinning hair is just one of the elements that we may or may not be experiencing. But if you are one of the women who are experiencing thinning hair due to menopause, it's interesting to explore the potential that hormone replacement therapy may have. Now, there is no direct studies or links stating that if you go on any kind of hormone replacement that it's going to improve your hair thinning. But many women have noticed that as they are balancing out their estrogen levels, that this is a pleasant side effect. And there is a very good reason for this. Our hair and scalp health is totally dependent on us having a balance in our hormones. Our 3 hormones are estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. In the scalp, the testosterone appears as androgen. And as our estrogen levels are beginning to reduce and flail, and they are not consistent, it appears as though our testosterone is raising. But in fact, what's happening is the imbalance is causing us to have more testosterone or androgen hormone levels than the estrogen. Now, at the base of every follicle is a gland, your endocrine gland. And when your hormone balance is off and it's being flooded with this androgen hormone, the potential for that to get clogged and blocked is higher. And with this clogging and blocking, it kind of chokes off the health of the hair, reducing the size, and the actual number of hair, and causes some shedding or falling out to happen, resulting in thinning hair. So it's really important that we begin to recognize what is going to help us both in keeping our balance of our hormones, maintaining the health of our scalp and our follicles, and just overall everything that we need to do in order to ensure that that follicle is kept clean, unblocked, that our scalp has a good blood flow, and that the nutrients that we are giving it are all present and supporting everything that we need in order to have that healthy hair that you once had and to reduce the amount of fallout that you are experiencing. So the next thing on that list of 7 that I can address is stress. Stress is huge, everybody. Stress is going to impact your menopausal symptoms across the board. So keeping your stress level down is really, really important. But if you are experiencing the hair loss as a result of the stress, it's even more apparent for you than just dealing with the hot flashes. An additional thing that I'm going to include under stress is how to care for your scalp. And I'm including it there because I am viewing your scalp as being under stress because it's being choked of its oxygen supply with all of the chemicals and all of the silicones and all of the waxes and products that we are piling on our hair. It gets into the scalp and it blocks everything. First and foremost, your scalp needs to be massaged in order to bring good blood flow and circulation to it. Just like any other part of the body, it's going to flourish when you do it. It does not have to be long and involved. It just has to be done. And daily is ideal. So when do I do mine? When I'm sitting back at night and I'm watching TV, my mind is at rest, or I'm chatting with my husband, whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with getting up in there and massaging, going through your hair. You don't have to mess it up. Just any way that you can move the scalp, you're bringing blood flow to it. And the last thing is your nutrition and your vitamin and supplements. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more after I touch base on premature graying, because I know there are so many women out there that are battling the transition and the grow out and wondering, do I really need to be doing this right now? Or is this a little bit before when I actually need to go through it? Is there something I can do to slow down the loss of pigment in my hair? Our nutrition is so important for the health of our hair as well as our overall health. And it will impact the rate at which you are thinning as well as the rate of your premature graying. Now, food is so powerful. Food is medicine. And if used correctly, it's really beneficial for our health and our skin, our hair, our nails. But when used incorrectly, it can be detrimental. So here are a couple of things to consider when you are going to put these foods in your mouth. And there are 7 of them, and 7 highly consumed things that you might think twice if your hair is important to you. Highly processed sugar or refined sugar. We know it's bad for gaining weight. We know it's bad in so many ways. But why is this bad for your hair? Sugar reduces how vitamin E is going to behave and the effect that it's going to have. And vitamin E is so important in maintaining elasticity. We have elasticity in our skin, elasticity in our hair. So if you're wondering about your skin, yes, couple it in here. Your hair is very elastic. You know this when we pull it to dry it. High level of refined sugar intake is going to reduce that elasticity and cause a lot of breakage. It also chokes off the supply of nutrients that are going to the hair, and it does cause premature graying. A high animal protein diet also is really hard on the system as well as the hair because there is a higher level of uric acid, and uric acid is connected with premature graying. Soft drinks, right up there. There are so many reasons why soft drinks aren't good, but the coloring and the sugar in the soft drinks have been shown to encourage premature graying. Salt. Salt is not a problem for some people, but for others it is. and our sodium level must be in balance. Now, it depends on your own personal health journey and different things that you're going through. The level of salt intake that you should be restricting your sodium to, but know this, as you are craving salt or as you are adding a lot of salt to something, it also does contribute to premature graying. Enriched wheat, white or bleached flour. The process of enriching the flour introduces components, metals that are really hard on the system and especially on the hair, and can also cause premature graying. And finally, MSG. MSG is hard and has been shown to be bad, and we try and find products that are free from MSG if we have any kind of gastric problem or indigestion. And just know that this also does contribute to your premature graying. All of these things are going to impact your overall health, your scalp health, and as a result, it's going to contribute to your thinning hair as well as your premature graying. So let's take a look at some things that are actually good for you to be eating in order to bring up your nutrient level and promote an environment that is going to have your hair thriving. What I'm going to tell you is not going to be a surprise. You have to eat healthy to be healthy, and that goes for your hair too. So naturally, getting rid of all of the highly processed foods and introducing natural foods is absolutely going to be your best way to go. Your fresh leafy greens are going to be high in B6 and B12, which are really important for hair health because you are going to find the biotin there. So be sure to have a lot of salads or healthy leafy greens in your diet. Dark chocolate, and I got your attention now, right? Dark chocolate is really good for your hair health. So how does the chocolate help? It's rich in copper, and copper is known to be good to help produce the melanin in your hair. Berries such as strawberries and raspberries are really, really good to include in your diet when you are looking at your hair health and maintaining the melanin in your hair. Salmon is right up there with them, so be sure to include salmon, not only because of the omega-3s, which are really important, but because it introduces a lot of other healthy fats. Almonds are good for your skin and your hair, but sunflower seeds are also really good because they are known to help you to maintain and retain the melanin in your hair. For those of you who like Indian food, curry leaves have been known to be very beneficial in preventing premature graying. Now, something that I usually talk about trying to eliminate from your diet is dairy. But dairy in this aspect, in this case, is actually good for premature graying because of the vitamin B6 and B12 that is contained in dairy. But I would prefer that you try and find your B vitamin sources in other foods as opposed to dairy, because there are other inflammatory impacts that including dairy in your diet can have on you, especially when you are over 50 and we are trying to fight overall body inflammation in order to increase our longevity and our mobility and everything that goes with that. Maintaining good healthy nutrition sometimes is difficult, so we do have to include a multivitamin. So what do you look for in your vitamin? Now, I have mentioned your B6 and 12 are really important, but A is very important for overall health of your eyes and your skin, your hair, and might be beneficial here. Collagen is really important for your hair and your skin and your nails as well. I did mention copper because copper is very supportive in the production of melanin, as are your vitamin C and your vitamin E. Make sure that the vitamins that you are taking are bioavailable, easily digestible, and are of a good quality. So again, to prevent the thinning, you want to reduce your stress. You want to make sure that you have a good, healthy environment for the hair to grow. So massage your scalp. Use good products that are free from DMDM and sodium lauryl sulfate. And don't have a lot of silicones, waxes, or other products that are going to sit on your scalp and clog the pores. Next, you are going to want to make sure that your diet is hair friendly, and that you're not going to be consuming a lot of foods and drinks that are going to cause harm to your hair and the follicle and cause premature graying and some excessive thinning of the hair. If you have any questions at all, please be sure to comment below. And as I've mentioned, if you like the information that was in here, please sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment to tell me what part of the video you got the most value from. If you are looking for good products to use to support healthy hair and prevent hair thinning, then you might be interested in looking at a couple of my product reviews. The first is for Better Not Younger. They have a really good hair line that helps to keep your hair healthy and vibrant. It's good, clean product. The second line is Curenza, and this line actually has been formulated to ensure that you have a healthy follicle where the endocrine gland is kept free of debris and is not blocked. It encourages your scalp to be a good environment to grow your hair, and it treats the scalp so that it supports everything that's needed in order to have strong, healthy, vibrant hair and to begin the regrowth process for your hair. So take a look out for those two videos. That's Curenza and Better Not Younger. I want you to be sure to subscribe to my channel, to like it, and to make a comment on any questions that you have relating to this video. Please comment on anything that you have found beneficial.